Today's edition is dedicated to the quest for world peace, tolerance, and harmony. And I have with me two distinguished citizens of the world who are in the forefront of championing the cause for world peace and harmony. To my left is Mohammed Asad Tahir Jappa. He is a trainer, a consultant, and a counselor all the way from Pakistan. You welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And of course, to my right, it's Deacon Rose Bodoin. It's a pastoral administrator of St. James Catholic Church, Kansas City, United States of America. You welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
My guests are in Nigeria, precisely in Jos, in furtherance of their commitment to world peace and harmony. Once again, gentlemen, you welcome to the program. And let's take a critical look at the state of the world today. All over the world, we are in search of peace, and peace seems to be eluding us. There are violence here and there, ethno-religious, sectarian, political, social upheavals here and there. Maybe I start from you, Ross. Why is peace so elusive in the world today?
Well, I'm sure that there are many possible responses, but I think that as I see it, and I'm not an academician, I'm not a professor, I'm a pastor, so I am a practitioner working with the people in the present situation. It seems to me that from my point of view, that individuals' interests and aims come ahead of the common good. And I find that if that happens in local situations, even happens in families, or it happens in the civic arena or nationally, whenever our interests come ahead of the common good, then we're not going to have peace, because I will want my point of view, or I want my benefit to the exclusion of others. So I think that the personal interest ahead of the common good is beneath a lot of the turmoil that we have in the world.
Asad, why do we have so much violence in the world today?
To my understanding, as the world is fast on the track of globalization, the world is in a very defining moment as we see it today. Globalization has given opportunity to grow at a speed which is much faster than before. But then it sharply divides the world into those who are well equipped to take that opportunity, who are, as nations, for example, the nations which are technologically advanced, they are very well equipped. So are individuals and organizations. And those who are backward technologically, academically, and who are not really very well equipped to take that opportunity and make the best use of that resource, they are left marginalized, and they are left far behind in the race to grasp that opportunity. Now, this development process is not inclusive, as the pastor has rightly pointed out. So those who are marginalized and are left behind in this development process, they are really struggling it hard to be at peace with themselves, because for them it's a matter of bread and butter. For their children, it's sleeping with starvation, and they have hardly any resource to make their both hands meet. Therefore, this economic misery, leading to the syndrome of poverty, disease, and helplessness, eventually pushes people to extremism and militancy. Therefore, when they are themselves rendered helpless and they see a few of the stakeholders thriving on their costs, they are really from within coming out to take law into their own hand and trying to snatch away that opportunity which has so far been denied to them. And thus it breeds violence.
Now you talk about common good. who defines common good and who protects common good?
Well, the common good is defined certainly by different religions and different governments and so forth, but there is a basic, as my understanding, there's a basic common good of humanity, that there is the good of the whole, which is greater than the need of any one person, or the desires, which is, like you say, in the situation globally, where if I can accomplish more or achieve more or grasp more, then I tend to do that. Where somebody is lacking, then I can ignore that. But the common good, it seems to me, is the baseline of humanity. It does not rely on whether I am of one nationality or ethnic origin or religion. The base is that the common good is that each person has what is necessary for their survival and their growth and prosperity. And that's very general, but it seems to me that the basis of it is that everybody has what they need for survival, for their life, and then they are able to go from there. There are so many people in the world who don't even have the basics, and so the common good is not served as long as there are people who don't even have subsistence.
Okay, how much of erosion of the spirituality of man will you say the quest, the crave for materialism has done? Because if we're talking about common good, we're talking about oppression, we're talking about one nation being up there, other nations being down there, one individual being up there, others being down there. To what extent will you say the race for materialism has greatly affected the spirituality of man, which to a large extent is the bedrock of the quest for peace and unity?
Well, it's a very interesting question, and I would like to take you back to the post-Second World War regime, which started with a mad rat race for maximization of profits at the platform of capitalism, because under capitalist economy, you are allowed to maximize your profits, you're allowed to own your assets and properties. In that process, when Marshall Plan started with post-war economy, that was based on a doctrine of functional inequality. Now, that doctrine of functional inequality allows few people to thrive on the cost of millions. In the pursuit to maximize profits, the mill owners and entrepreneurs, the factory owners would always try to save more at the cost of wages that they would have given to wages and amenities to the workers and those who are really at the receiving end. Now, in this process, those who were at the receiving end were really left high and dry by those few shareholders whose profits went into millions and then billions, while the teeming millions were left high and dry in the process of this capitalist economy. And thereby, today, we have only islands of prosperity who were really, through the